Happy Saturday, everyone. Shane Jenkins here. As we approach the 5-year anniversary of the Afghanistan withdrawal, I want to walk you through the timeline as a reminder of how quickly 20 years of war came crashing to an end, and of the human beings who paid the price. February 29th, 2020, the United States signs the Doha Agreement with the Taliban, establishing a path toward the withdrawal of American forces from Afghanistan. By January of 2021, roughly 2,500 American troops remain in country. April 14, 2021, President Joe Biden announces that the remaining American forces will leave Afghanistan. The original September deadline is eventually moved up to August 31st. July 2021, American forces leave Bagram Airfield, the installation that had been the backbone of U.S. military operations in Afghanistan for nearly 2 decades. Then August comes and Afghanistan begins falling apart at a speed that shocks the whole world. August 6th, the Taliban captures its first provincial capital. One after another, cities fall. Afghan security forces collapse. The Taliban advances across the country. August 15th, Kabul falls. Afghanistan President Ashraf Ghani flees the country. The Taliban enters the capital. The United States rushes thousands of troops back into Afghanistan, not to restart the war, but to secure the Hamid Karzai International Airport and evacuate Americans, allies, and Afghans desperately trying to escape the Taliban. And then the world sees the images. Thousands of people surrounding the airport, families holding children above crowds, people clinging to aircraft, Marines and soldiers standing at gates surrounded by desperate human beings while knowing there were credible terrorist threats against them. For days, American service members worked those gates. They searched people, they lifted babies, dead and alive, over those walls. They handed out water. They tried to bring order to absolute chaos. And then came August 26, 2021. Abbey Gate. An ISIS-K suicide bomber detonated an explosive in the crowd outside the Hamid Karzai International Airport. 13 American service members never came home alive. Sergeant Johanny Rosario Picardo, Sergeant Nicole Gee, Staff Sergeant Darren Taylor Hoover, Corporal Hunter Lopez, Corporal Dagan Page, Corporal Humberto Sanchez, Lance Corporal David Espinosa, Lance Corporal Jared Schmitz, Lance Corporal Riley McCollum, Lance Corporal Dylan Marola, Lance Corporal Kareem Nakui, Navy Hospital Corpsman Maxton Soviak, and Staff Sergeant Ryan Nouse. 13 names, 13 families' lives who were divided forever into everything that happened before August 26 and everything that came after. 4 days later on August 30th, the final American military aircraft lifted off from Kabul. After nearly 20 years of war, America's military presence in Afghanistan was over. But for the men and women who served there, for the family who's buried someone because of that war, for the Abbey Gate families, and for the veterans who came home carrying Afghanistan with them, August 30th wasn't simply the end of a war, because wars don't always end when the last airplane leaves. Sometimes they follow people home. Whatever your politics are, remember the human cost. Remember the wounded. Remember our veterans still carrying what happened there. Remember the families, and above all, remember the 13. Say their names, say them proud, tell their stories, make sure another generation knows exactly who they were, because they were more than 13 photographs on a screen. They were sons and daughters, brothers and sisters, husbands, fathers, friends, Marines, a sailor, and a soldier. They were Americans, and they should never be forgotten. God bless you all. Shane Jenkins, out.